Okay, before we get into this, I just want to apologize for however my footage comes out looking. It is super choppy and framey. And even though my computer doesn't run Halo Infinite super well, it did not look this bad while I was playing. There were random spikes and my frame rate did, like, collapse in certain moments, but it is not this bad on my end. I was having fun. I did enjoy myself. And with that said, let's get started with the fact that Halo is indeed Halo again. You're going to hear that a lot. And it's true. You're a Spartan again, and it legit feels like I have a shield protecting me. At no point did it feel like I was dying too quickly, unless I ate a power weapon, or again, my frame rate tanked and it just like skipped to the part where the person had done all the damage to me. Fair starts, baby. They're back. No more loadouts. I pray we never revisit Halo 4's approach. I know it's been years, like, since that game came out. It's been almost 10 years since Halo 4, and I'm still holding loadouts against 343's neck. That was an awful idea. Set weapon spawns for standard weapons. Power weapons are randomized per match, but they will be the same power weapon till the match ends, making every match feel unique, because, you know, oh, I'm on insert stage here. Is the power weapon going to be a skewer, a rocket launcher, a sword, whatever. Even though I don't even know if the sword was in the tech preview. I didn't get to use one. It probably was. 343 straight up said, we had good ideas, but they finally found a way to implement them properly, and I'm not mad about it. In big team battle, ordnance drops will fall, whilst meanwhile Pelicans will drop in more vehicles as they get broken or destroyed. There are vehicles that spawn, but they're dropping in like Warthogs and Banshees and Scorpions. It's great. Equipment is back, and it is way more interesting and intuitive. It's not just throw a ball and ruin the game for your opponent or potentially yourself. Now it's use this repulsor thing that initially, when you first play it, if you didn't get in the tech demo and you're just waiting to play Halo Infinite when it drops, the repulsor is going to feel useless at first. But then one day you're going to use it and accidentally flip over a Warthog like I did, or force an opponent away from you as they're trying to melee you and avoid getting killed. And you kill them. You get the turntable medal and everything. You can throw a drop wall, protect yourself, you sit there teabag, but don't do it for too long. It is not the bubble shield. That thing breaks. It's there to buy you some time and potentially stop a piece of fatal damage, because it will stop grenades and rockets. And they have a threat sensor now. You throw this ball and it does like this echolocation thing. I once revealed 3 dudes all crouching behind a rock just chucked a grenade. It was great. The weapons have also seen a glorious overhaul in that they all work because they are all fun and designed to be different from one another, just like old Halo games. The objective advantage science fiction shooting games are supposed to have is that they can all do wacky stuff. No weapons fill the same role as the one next to it. None of these weapons could be placed alongside each other in a loadout system, because they don't do the same thing as each other. And when Halo tried to remove that, that was a problem. In my opinion, so far, the battle rifle meta appears to be dead, and I say good riddance. The assault rifle works phenomenally, and I can already see people calling it overpowered. It's not. It's just clear that most, if not all, weapons do more damage with headshots. Meanwhile, it feels like, but don't quote me on this, it just feels this way, tactical precision rifles, whatever you want to call them, it feels like they do less damage to the body. So there will be situations where someone will dispatch you really quickly with an assault rifle, and you're sitting there thinking, how come I wasn't doing any damage to him? It's because you weren't hitting him in the head. Good, the battle rifle meta was a mistake. In Halos 2 and 3, the battle rifle was the most versatile weapon, easily winning altercations against assault rifles and the strongest dual-wielding combinations at close to mid-range, where it should, in theory, be losing. The only reason you had a chance against the DMR or the needle rifle in Reach was weapon bloom, and the fact that I know in that game for a fact there was no extra headshot damage to shields. They had to nerf your character's handling and buff shields to try to balance precision rifles. The DMR and the needle rifle still ended up being considered the superior option select to the assault rifle at all ranges. Have you ever played Halo Reach Online in the MCC? If you don't play DMR Slayer, people use their pistols. They just use the Magnum. It's good the assault rifle is strong, because it's certainly not the strongest. There are definitely situations it will lose out to. Trust me when I say precision weapons still have their place. They're all going to be used differently this time around. The sidekick, the battle rifle, the commando rifle, the pulse carbine have little in common besides the fact that they're precision weapons. The game considers them as such. One of the many things I hated about Halo 4 was how Promethean guns were just UNSC weapons skinned to be Forerunner weapons. It's a human weapon that shoots light for all intensive purposes. They don't do anything special. All of the guns are made to be radically different from each other from what you've seen in previous Halo games. You can't just pick up a gun, start clicking and shooting, and it just does what it's supposed to do. They all have little quirks, gimmicks, ulterior fire methods. For example, the Ravager. It's this plasma grenade launcher with a giant bayonet on the front of it, firing in 3-round bursts. Land the first 3 in succession, that's a Spartan shield, guaranteed. Land the next 3, that's their life, guaranteed. Oh, and if they're close enough, you just melee them after the initial barrage. Their melee does more damage, the bayoneted weapons in this game, so it's easily more satisfying than the brute shot or the concussion rifle. But wait, there's more! If it has an alternative fire, you can hold the trigger down and you charge it, and then when that fully charged blast hits the ground, it leaves fire. Like, it's an AoE, and at first it doesn't seem like it does anything, but then I started to notice, oh, that was my teammates leaving it behind. I thought it wasn't doing anything, but I saw like 3 people like get stuck in one and they just all fell over. It's great. Also, plasma weapons recharge now if you walk over fallen plasma weapons of the same type. I welcome this change. I always thought it was kind of dumb because in the lore, those canister things that you knock over or pull weapons out of, those recharge the weapons. Energy swords are rechargeable. Anyway, as far as changes go, plenty of modern touch-ups. The announcer is different depending on game mode. In Big Team Battle, it's the Drill Sergeant character, Aranya or whatever her name is. In regular battle, it's the same classic announcer we've known and love all these years. Oh, and for the record, I love the AI. I knew I was going to. I knew it was going to be one of my favorite aspects of this game, and it already is. The things Butler will say, oh my god, and it's inspiring. It makes you want to keep playing. It makes you feel good. You were made for that carbine. Gives me Titanfall 2 vibes. It's nice to have a buddy, and it's nice to be a part of something. There's also no friendly fire this time around. I love this change. People are mean. And they think they're owed the weapons on the floor. You're not. Oh, and did you know weapons with scopes cause lens flare now? Yeah, that glare that happens in real life when you try to scope someone. Yeah, if you look out in the distance and someone's scoping you with a sniper rifle, battle rifle, or a skewer, you'll know if you pay attention. My only complaints? They got rid of unit collision. It feels weird. That's a legit weird choice. I don't get this decision. And it's definitely gotten me killed, having me walk through my opponent, melee behind them, and then I turn around and they aren't there. It's like I'm mixing myself up in a fighting game, and I don't like it. Makes me feel dumb and frustrated, in all honesty. It takes me out of the game. Also, speaking of melee, it's clear your character doesn't lunge like they used to. I see people melee right in front of me, miss constantly. At least once a match, I'll mess up and get lit up whilst trying to throw out a melee attack, and I'm just a little bit short. And my opponent with no shields just sits there and I die at his feet. I hate it. Other than that, Halo is Halo again. And it's about time, dude. If the final product of this game plays anything like this, if they don't change too much, because I know the sandbox is about to change, so I'm not going to get my favorite weapons as often. I know there's going to be more stages, more maps, and all that. But if it's like this, if it still plays like this, Infinite will definitely be worth it. So those are my initial thoughts of how the game plays in the multiplayer, at least. There's still so much more I want to talk about, but for now, this is just the general feel of the game. I plan to talk more on specific things, such as the new threat indicator, how the new weapons work, etc., etc., in future videos. For now, let me just say thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Has taken the enemy flag. Attack one. returns their flag. Match lost. Next time, Spartan. Scorpion tank is inbound.